and also from my understanding, not by choice, but either way.
Unrelated, I really hate it. How the mediation, I shoot it straight, no exaggeration. Do bad by myself, masturbation. We at war with each other and Satan. I pray every night to heal this nation.
Homicide, it's a homicide. Homicide, homicide, it's a homicide. It's a homicide, it's a homicide. Homicide, homicide, it's a homicide. It's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. Didn't matter if you 18 or 81. Racist white people walking around with a gun. Systemic racism, we fighting till the war is won. For Eric Garner, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and every black soul lost to these haters. I say these words that I'm speaking to you through my tears. How we gonna wake up and notice that our time is here? How we move forward if we don't know where we came from? These racist motherfuckers killing us since day one. They moved us all to these camps to call it slavery. The transatlantic slave trade helped accompany thousands of black lives to plantation owners. They castrated us, raped our women to create order. Homicide, it's a homicide. Every time you turn around, white people are killing black lives, and they matter. The water, blood, and brain splatter. Just cause we say all lives don't mean that we matter. Homicide, don't mean that we matter. Just cause you say all lies don't mean that we matter. Homicide, it's a homicide.
That's it. Good on people. So that's Black Lives Matter, and then parentheses it does say homicide, which I get. That's what I get more actually out of the chorus, because that's what they say. But that was by Mr. J Guns and two other people, Candy Lady and DIP.
And DIP, Candy Lady, sounded like Sugar Free. If y'all know who that rapper is, on that first verse, I really liked her verse. I'm gonna give this song a dope. My biggest points of critique are going to be the beat. I didn't really like the beat. It was simple enough to let them do what they wanted to do, but I didn't particularly like the beat. I know I say this on every Mr. J Guns song, but with this being a critique show, I just can't let critiques go just because it's a consistent thing. But the recording quality was immense drop off from Candy Lady's verse to, I'm guessing Mr. J Guns was second.
I don't think so.
Who was second?
I feel like it was DIP.
Was it DIP? Then to DIP.
I think so. I think J Guns' voice is the last.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We let's wait on a response for that.
Yeah.
Both last two verses were mixed ones.
Yeah. Mr. Guns, was you second or third?
Is he here?
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, you see.
Actually, that's why I played him first.
Because
I saw you see.
But other than that, the first verse was my favorite one. Gives the track some love since I already gave it his critiques. The first verse was my favorite one. I love the content. I love, to be honest, how they were trying to fit in, especially the first artist. So Candy Lady did it really, really great. She was able to fit in. They were able to fit in a lot of words. You know what I'm saying? And I loved it, especially like when the beat's still building, kind of like she didn't really have a lot of drums under her in the first half of her verse, and she was like fitting it in. That's incredibly hard to do because every like rapper, musician has that internal like metronome while they're spitting or they're rapping. So it's very, very hard to do. So props to her on that. The other artists seem to try to follow the same format, but just to be real, they couldn't hold a candle to Candy Lady on the first one. But I did like the lyrics. It makes me want to go back and listen to it a second time. I'm pretty sure Candy Lady was talking about, and I'm wrong if I'm getting this wrong, but I guess the differences between Black Lives Matter, but then like us. That was her husband, DIP. Okay. So yeah, DIP was second. Okay.
Cool.
But Candy Lady was you're right. Candy Lady was talking about Black Lives Matter, but then they also needing to matter to us as Black people. And I like that. I always like that topic of conversation, not in a means to stop or pause how white people treat us, but
Right.
it also needs emphasis as well.
Yes.
But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna give this song a dope. The recording quality for me was the worst of it. In the second and third verse, this DIP, his verse could have been a little tighter. Just in terms of his in his performance. Jai Guns, you know, he always hits it on the head. So that makes more sense that he was the third person and not the second. But yeah, other than that, it's a dope song.
Hey, ain't it J Guns?
Is it J Guns or Jai?
I thought you said J.
I always say
you
J.
Said J.
He said
You know
J.
what? Hey,
he never corrects us. So.
Hey, I'll go with sis. She rarely wrong, so I'm gonna give this to her. J Guns, Mr. J Guns.
I hope I'm not wrong.
If you are, I'm gonna rub it in your face. I'm gonna.
Oh, look, Mr. J Guns. Even if it is Jai, it says J.
Hey, what up, Dr. Bezel?
All right,
What
go
up?
ahead,
What up, Roman? What up, Sabrina? But yeah, it was a dope on my end, Jay. So you was right. It's J Guns, Mr. J Guns. All right, so I'm gonna hand it off.
Barely wrong.
All right, cool. I definitely give this song a round of applause. I'm assuming it's the same for 94 Joe as well.
Yeah.
So I do rate this song dope. Overall, it was a cool listen. After hearing 94 Joe's review and a couple of the comments that came in, I was surprised at the fact that DIP was Candy Lady's husband, but Candy Lady's mix sounded professional, and his sounded like it was recorded in his car.
Yeah, like on the phone.
Yeah, like on the phone. That threw me off. Now, the good news for DIP was that I liked his verse. I actually wish it was longer because he was like going in and he was off the beat a little bit. It kind of reminded me of like an attempt at what the baby tries to do sometimes, but he did it like through the whole verse. And it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough for me to be like, okay, I like what's going on. But usually when you do things like that, you want at least 4 bars of slower rapping. It don't have to be slow, but at least 4 bars of slower. Even if it made the bar count kind of off, it would have been okay. And rappers do that a lot these days anyway. Mr. J Guns did really good. I think this was one of those occasions where Mr. J Guns didn't have the worst mix. Because usually his voice, his verse tends to have like the worst mix. But his didn't sound too bad at all. The other thing that threw me off, I'm not saying this is good or bad, but what threw me off was the subject matter of the song versus the kind of beat it was. The beat was kind of bouncy, get moving, get bouncing around, but then the subject matter was what it was. And so it was still, appreciated, and I still, liked the overall, track, but I felt conflicted in that sense. To where it was like, okay, is it bad if I'm like vibing with this song? Because the beat wants me to vibe with it, but the subject matter is serious, and they spitting some real stuff. And so that was just the only other thing that came to my mind. But that's not like really bad or really good. That's not a knock on the song. I think it was a very cool freestyle-esque approach to a serious topic, and overall, I do believe they pulled it off. So good job to them.
Okay, well, you got 2 dopes. No, wrong one. 3 dopes. Overall, I will say that I appreciated this song. And we've heard plenty of Black Lives Matter songs, plenty of Police Are Killing Us songs. And I really appreciated this one because out of all of them, to me, this was the most, I hate to use this word, entertaining. It was able to get the message across, but not in a way to where I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, the message was good, but I mean, the song was kind of, and the song was actually good, and I still received the message. I like how Candy Lady just came in at the beginning of the beat, and then obviously, I think she's the favorite. You know, she just did so wonderful. I felt like she was talk rapping. Like she was really just talking. How, especially, you know, us females, sometimes when we really get excited about something, we just start talking this fast, and then we maybe slow it down just a little bit, and then you don't even know what he did to me, and kind of like, you know. But it was like her squeezing those words in. I ain't never what. That was great. That was really, really great. I appreciate it because we do sometimes get people who, you know, try to do that and they do not execute it well. But she is the perfect example of squeezing all the words you can get that shouldn't fit, but somehow you make it fit. I do agree that as each verse came, the quality kind of just diminished, and I was like, "What? What is?" She came in so crisp and clean. What happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what that's about, but definitely in the future, that's something you want to work on. Because I mean, even if you're recording in different places, you want it to feel like everybody recorded in the same place.
Yeah.
You know, effects may happen and stuff, but we don't want it to feel like one person recorded in the studio, somebody else in the bathroom, somebody else in the car. You know, like gotta get that together. The other thing I will say, as far as VIP is concerned, I do appreciate that he had the speed and stuff as well, but I don't think he executed it as well as his wife. There was a slippery slope sometimes. Also, I did think his verse was too short. I was like, dang, it's over already? Oh, well, I wanted more. I appreciated Mr. J Guns for slowing down the pace, because everybody was just going like this. And we needed somebody to talk a lot like this, you know what I'm saying? So I really appreciated that. Also, clean up the chorus a little bit. It's homicide. It's a homicide. That needs to be just a little bit cleaner, and it will be better. But it is catchy. Not that we want it to be catchy. Do we want that to be catchy?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Homicide. Sounds horrible. Yes. But other than that, great job. Good start.
Couple more things. Just two more, actually. Two more. I think it is a good conversation piece to talk about songs like this that deal with like, or have a narrative of like Black trauma in them. It's kind of like movies, you know what I'm saying? We done seen a bunch of slave movies. At a certain point, it's like you know, as like a Black person, you're like, I mean, like, I don't want to outwardly say I hate this because like, you know, like it's history and it's teaching people about our trauma, and you don't really want to shit on it. But sometimes people make stuff that's bad, even with those kind of things. So when people are able to provide a narrative about it, about something like this, and do it in a good fashion, have a good chorus, have good content, I think that should be awarded. And I understand why it would feel weird because it's talking about trauma, but at the end of the day, like, you want to highlight them folk because, you know, you got a lot of people who try to make the song and their saving grace is that, well, damn, I'm Black. I don't really want to be like, this shit's stupid. You
this
know what I'm
song
saying?
sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? So, and then two, I really like the flip of the Jay Stone won a graham cracker. It says, but I will say that I did like the chorus and the flip. If it was a flip, I'm pretty sure from Fabulous song "Suicide." It's a suicide. It's a suicide, and the homicide. It's a homicide. I like that flip. But that's all I had to say. So.
Oh shoot, I missed that one. Oh, go back. Shame on me. Should not have missed that.
Cool indeed. Well, man, overall, still all dope. So very good job.